Have you ever felt like you just have to get everything perfect when it comes to learning English? Every grammar rule, every pronunciation, every single word. If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place. In today's video, we're going to talk about the myth of perfect English and why striving for that could be holding you back from achieving your English language goals. We'll explore how making mistakes could actually be your friend and how to shift goals to something much more valuable. Are you ready to find out why it's okay to be good enough and not perfect? If so, then let's get into it. No one is going to be perfect. Not even native English speakers speak in perfect English. Trying to be perfect in every way can actually hurt you when it comes to learning English. I do think that wanting to achieve perfection is a big motivator in learning English. So, trying to achieve perfection, even if we never actually get there, is an important part of English learning. It's natural to want to get better. Say, for example, I'm working at a company in Japan. I don't want to make too many mistakes when I'm doing work in Japanese. It won't reflect well on my level of work. If we are studying, for example, for a test, it won't reflect well if you make too many mistakes because it's going to have a direct effect on your score. In these situations, making a mistake would be viewed as bad, even though someone who isn't afraid to make mistakes is probably going to have a much better chance at getting fluent faster. When it comes to conversation, if you start to worry too much about making mistakes, you're probably not going to put yourself out there enough to be able to make the mistakes that are going to push you forward on your language learning journey. But like we talked about before, when you're making mistakes in a professional setting or on a test, you do want to keep those to a minimum. Next, let's talk about where we should work towards perfection. Many people try to go after the perfect pronunciation. I have so many students who ask me about the intonation points. Is it rising? Is it falling here? Pronunciation is important, but as long as you're being understood, then I think you're doing fine. And that's what's going to be most important when it comes to a conversation. You may never sound like a native speaker, and that's okay. When I speak in Japanese, it's probably not perfect, but I'm still able to hold a wide range of conversations with the level of Japanese that I do have, and that's good enough. When it comes to something like spelling, on the other hand, I think you really do want to push more for perfection. If you're in a work or education setting, making lots of spelling mistakes is going to start to reflect poorly on you. Especially now, since you do lots of work on computers or smartphones, there's so many different ways that you can check your spelling before singing it out, so you really should try to get it right. Even though there's still a lot of things that can slip through the cracks, so you really want to focus your efforts on getting your spelling down. And it still may not be perfect, but you want to try to cut down on as many mistakes as possible. Grammar or vocabulary is something that's going to be in between the two extremes. How you naturally use words and grammar could be a little more similar to the pronunciation side of things. Especially at the beginning, you really want to focus on being understood more than being perfect. The overall meaning is what's most important at this point. Even when I'm in a Japanese office, unless it's something that's life or death, I can afford to make a few mistakes as long as what I'm saying is understood by the people listening. Next, let's talk about when we should start to worry a little bit more about the accuracy of what we're saying in English. I think at the beginning, it should be less of a worry. Like I said before, can you understand the person and can they understand you? This is the most important thing when it comes to a conversation. You don't want to make things so hard on yourself at the beginning that you give up because you're not seeing the type of progress that you're expecting. At the beginning, you're building up your bank of words and phrases that you're going to use later on down the line. Your brain is starting to make a note of common patterns and sounds, and this is going to take some time. There is no one that I have ever met that became fluent overnight. When you get to a later stage in your English journey, that's when you can start focusing more and more on your accuracy. Start to improve your pronunciation. Work on different grammar points and vocabulary. If you get deeper into your English language learning and you're motivated to learn, you're probably going to work harder little by little over time to get to your version of perfect. So focus less on trying to get everything right at the beginning and just know that it's okay to make mistakes. Focus on enjoying English, communicating, and just using things that you know for the level that you're at that time. When you get more comfortable, this is when you're going to start to smooth out those mistakes and get better and better at English. So, how do you become a better English speaker? One of the most important things is time. Babies aren't born knowing everything. A lot of what you know comes from experience, so make it a point to learn from the mistakes that you are going to make. You should think of mistakes as a way to learn what you are not going to do the next time you get into that same situation. And you're probably going to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and then make the same mistake again. This is how you learned in your native language, and it's going to be the same when it comes to learning in English. Build up your long-term memory with words and phrases that you'll feel comfortable using in a variety of situations. Just don't worry about trying to be perfect. Learn to naturally use and become an English speaker. My advice is continuous improvement over perfection. As long as you keep finding different things that you can improve on, you'll be surprised when down the line you know more English than you think. I hope this gives you guys some good ideas about how to think about perfection when it comes to learning English. If you got any good benefit out of this video, how about share this video with someone else that you think it would help, and then check this video out right here to learn more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing the next one. See you.